Okay. Okay, great morning, everyone. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you as well a few skills today and something that can help you to get through the moments that we are going through. I just heard her this morning. Yes, Francois, I'm also pumped. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. And Rian, thank you for being here as well. Just heard two of my friends this morning has COVID and how suddenly that affects their mental health. And I just realized again the importance of having mental strength. And just quickly make sure that you can all tell me that my sound is good so that before I get on a big rant here about life and how great life can be. Okay, so one thing is important is for us this morning is how can we gain mental strength to be able to assist us to get through in this period? Because it is challenging. You know, no matter what we say, this time of life with COVID, it's like climbing out a mountain. And with these two friends of mine that has COVID, it has really affected them because they can't see their kids now. They have to go and lockdown. And now they're thinking about life and, you know, they're not feeling good. And I realized again, you know, talking to them and said, you know, come back to getting your mindset right. Because anything can be conquered because I know I've been through it. And I'm going to share with you my story today. So I'm grateful for having you part of this meeting of the minds as normal people, as great people that have been successful in all areas of life, and everyone that has a story to share with you. And I'm going to share with you a story today that is totally different from the ones that I shared. The one thing that is important for me is I only share the stuff that I've went through that has changed my life, that has had an impact on my life, because I can only teach what I've gone through and what I've applied. And that's why I can talk a lot about different topics, but those topics that I talk about is my strength points, is topics that I've mastered in a sense, but I'm not a master yet because I grow constantly. There's constantly new things that I need to learn. So most of you that are on here that doesn't know me, you know, if you don't know me, say hi in the chat box. If you don't say anything, I know you love me and you are grateful to be here. So this is me, Kobus Visser. One thing that I love most is to motivate people and inspire people to achieve their full potential, but also not only people, but also businesses, because, you know, businesses can thrive, but it needs to start with yourself, your mindset. And that's why I'm going to talk about mental strength today. Now, every time I have to sow this slide, because this is what we need to do as individuals. We need to raise the standard. For those who have been on previous talks can see how others have raised the standard, especially like Chad last night. He took it to the next level. You know, to be at 64 to almost 0% fat, you know, having a six-pack. How many of you would love that at a young age like that, because he's still young and full of life and vibrant? So it's time for us to raise the standard about how we feel, you know, and that's why I brought on Laura last night as well about the weight loss and looking after your health. So it's time to crush it. It's time to crush all of this mountain in front of us and say, you're not going to conquer me. I'm going to conquer you. I'm going to conquer this thing that is this big challenge that is in front of me, and I will do whatever it takes. No excuses. You know, I know, Francois, you decided to join and choose two programs, and I can promise and guarantee if you put in the work with us, you will look back and you will say it was the best investment I've ever made. because I know I've invested over 800,000 in my personal development in the last 8+ years. And it's put me on a path where I can't regret. I don't regret it. I've lived without that, without regret, because every day I appreciate the things that I had to go through. Okay, so today I'm going to quickly talk about some strategies. It's not all the strategies, but here's some strategies that have helped me to help you to gain mental strength without being left behind. How to gain something that can level you up or change your vibration and put you in a higher frequency. Now, my story is all about how I had to learn mental strength. Life has thrown a lot of challenges in front of me. I was born as a hemophiliac, and a hemophiliac means my blood doesn't clot. So with all of the bleeding over the years, my joints basically disintegrated. I don't have elbows. I don't know if you can see my elbow. I can't make it straight. I can't touch my shoulder. I don't have elbows. I don't have ankles. This is, if you can see, I can't even, I don't even have muscles. And it's the same with my ankles. I have to get my elbows replaced. I have to get my ankles replaced. And in 2014, I woke up one morning and I couldn't walk. And as a hemophilia, I get myself injections, and it's plasma, and it helps to clot blood. And then it takes usually 2 or 3 days for me to be able to move again. And so it's important for me that I had to realize, no, it's just 2 or 3 days. But those 2 or 3 days became 1 week. And 1 week became a month. And 1 month became 3 months. That 3 months became a year. I had to crawl where I wanted to be. I had to be in a wheelchair and still motivate people, because I've already been on this path since 2012. So it was a big mountain in front of me. And I had people to help me to wash myself. I had to learn how to walk with those scratches that are underneath your elbows and get bruises from that. And I had to learn basically to get through this pain. It takes me an hour in the morning just to get out of bed and pump myself up. And I'm like an old diesel motor. You have to have it run a little bit to get all the oil to all of the joints. And then I can start operating and moving. But in 2014, I ended up not being able to walk. In 2015, the doctor said I need to get my ankles replaced. It's going to be a year and a half about recovery, because it's 6+ months per ankle. And with that, knowing that I don't have strength in my elbows because I need an elbow replacement as well, I couldn't even get into the bath. It was already a struggle to get on the toilet. What about, I had to have those portable toilets where I could sit on high enough that they didn't have to go down too low. And so it broke me down as an individual. Mentally, it broke me down to a point where I wanted to commit suicide, where I said, maybe it's not worth living. Maybe it's time to let my life go. I've lived, I've done. At that time, I've already impacted people's lives through with the firewalking. And so I felt, maybe it's time to go. But then something changed, and I'm going to get to that later. Just as, I have images. So this is my joints. I don't know if there's a doctor in the group, but this is how my elbow looks like and my ankles. You can definitely see the elbow is not a normal elbow. And so one thing that I realized is that, it's important, as you can see there in the top left, I constantly have to move through pain. So the journey is painful. The journey is not easy. If someone promises you a quick fix or a quick result, if it's too good to be true, it's going to be too good to be true. You're going to always pay the price. And I had to still motivate people in my wheelchair, like in the middle, with cancer. And I still have to say, I have to keep going on and use this mindset to change our reality. And then there's my ankles, where I woke up one morning in 2014, not being able to walk. So I have health challenges. Now, you might not have health challenges, but you have a COVID challenge that is in front of you. You have a business that might be closing in front of you. You might have a relationship that is falling apart in front of you. And what is all of this have in common is one thing: we need to conquer this mindset to be able to go through it. Now, in my space, I can't do physical work. So I needed to learn how to adapt myself to the market. So adaptability. So it comes back to business as well and personal level. How can you adapt to the situations in front of you? I had to adapt. I had to learn new skills. I'm always in pain. So the journey is painful. The journey is procrastination. The journey is like, I don't feel like doing it today. So everyone has their own story. This is just my story. I had to find other ways of doing business. The one thing that is important for me, for you to make a note today, everything starts with a why. If your why is strong enough, you will figure out the why, the how. You will figure out the how. So if you really want to, the why is easy. It's strong enough. You will figure out how to do it. This is my why, and this is why I can get up every morning. I want to leave a legacy for them, for a little Tian and Vian, to stand up every morning and say their dad lived. Their dad didn't take his situation on. He followed his passion. And one of his passions is of inspiring people to walk over fire. How many of you in this group that I only believes fire burns? We all do. It's a belief that has been created. And yet I get people to walk on 500 to 600 degrees Celsius without getting burned. And for those who know, aluminium melts at 250. Medical book says at 150, you need to go to the hospital for third-degree burns. And yet we walk on 500 to 600 degrees Celsius. Fire walking has changed my life. Sorry, I'm changing the slide too fast. Fire walking has changed my life because it taught me as a metaphor that if I can do this, I can do anything. And for those who are believers, even in Isaiah 54, it says, you will walk through fire and you will not get burned. Even, because I am with thee. So it's so important to know that fire walking is just a metaphor. It's nothing else. It's just a mindset to help you to switch a mindset so that you believe anything is possible and that you can challenge certain beliefs. Now, just to give you an example, I was on this mountain and I was looking at the sunrise, and this was just below Stella Point, just on top of the mountain. And I was getting there and I gave up. I was too much pain, I couldn't breathe. I was coughing the whole time. And as we were sitting, you can see my friend laugh because it's the highest, and I'm sitting there, I can't breathe. It feels like I'm dying. And I'm like going up, and he says, Cobus, let's go down. I'll come with you. And I said, but Will, we're so close. You can't just now go back with me when you're so close to the top. And he says, well, I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. How many of you have friends like that and mentors and coaches that are willing to give up their goals so that you can succeed? And he was willing to do that for me. And I told him, no, go do it for us. Go walk and climb this mountain. And then just before he left, he looked at me and he said, Cobus, I just feel I want to say you something. Just remember why you came to climb this mountain. And he left. And I get goosebumps now. And as he left, it suddenly dawned on me why I was there. And suddenly I had extra energy. Remember, if your why is strong enough, you will figure out the how. And suddenly I have more energy and I can push myself through and I can get up there. What is your why? And I get goosebumps just to think about it. 2 years ago to this date, we arrived at Tanzania to go climb. Tomorrow, the hike starts. Can you believe it? Tomorrow, I'm going to do from today on a Facebook Live every day, and I'm going to take people through my journey, how I felt every day on this journey. So be on the lookout for that, and I can't wait to share it as well. And this journey changed my life. I almost died on that mountain. I actually did. In a sense, I came back reborn. I had more energy coming back. I have determination. I'm not giving up. And I've challenged myself to take it new heights. And everything in my life, I found someone again because I got divorced just before the climb of the mountain. Everything fell down before that mountain. Yet, everything started with a dream when I lost everything to say, let me write down a vision and goal. And remember what Charles said, it needs to be written down. I had something to visualize. I had a vision board and what I'm going to focus on. And because I saw one night a documentary of a guy in a wheelchair and a guy in crutches climbing Kilimanjaro. The guy in crutches had cerebral palsy. I remember that night I told myself, I'm going to Kilimanjaro. It took me 3 years to get there. Some goals take 1 month and some goals take 3 years. And I got there and I made it a reality. And I did get to Stella Point. I never got to Uhuru Peak, the highest point. The highest point is just there back of my, next to the Stella, the board, the top is there. So I wasn't top of the mountain. I wasn't on the highest point on top of it. But I got there because no matter the challenge, I went through the pain. I had made sure that my knees could keep up, my ankles could keep up, even the bruises underneath my elbows. I had extra padding. I needed to get on top of that mountain. I got there. So anything is possible. So the one thing is that there's 4 C's to mental toughness. One is you have to gain control. Even if your life feels it's busy falling apart, it's time to stand up and draw the line. It says, I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to write down a vision. I'm going to write down goals. I'm going to start learning from others to be able to go achieve it, to get the skills to achieve it. Because up to now, you didn't have the skills to achieve certain goals and certain things in your life. So it's time to take control and say enough is enough. Then the next step is you have to have commitment. You have to commit to the journey. You have to commit to the process, even though it's going to get tough, even though it's going to become difficult and challenging. But you have to commit that no matter what, that word I say, whatever it takes. No excuses, no blaming. The next thing is challenge. Get for yourself a challenge. Don't put a goal and a dream so small that it's easy to achieve. So big that it's like people will laugh at you. You know, one of my friends says he's going to the moon. And everyone's laughing at him, but he knows he's going to the moon. Do you know Elon Musk at high school when he was at Pretoria Boys High, he told the kids and the teachers he's going to Mars. And they were laughing at him. You came to Mars, you're living in South Africa, it's not a chance. And yet, look at where he is, already going to space. How far is he from reaching Mars? Maybe closer than what we think because he's still young. And then the next thing is confidence. Confidence is key. And confidence comes through, you need to believe in it. You shouldn't doubt it. And because, like Charles said like last night, thoughts that are emotionalized become magnetized. So if you're confident and you believe it, even if it's not true, your subconscious mind, if after a period you keep on doing it, you will be able to start believing it. So next one, my journey basically started in 82. I had multiple surgeries and I started changing my life in 2011, 9 years. They say you overestimate what you can achieve in 1 year and you underestimate what you can achieve in 10 years. I don't know this is how far I'm going to be. And yet look how far I am. I'm so grateful for this journey and I have 1 year to go to see if the goals that I set in 2011, if I achieve all of them. So my goal for you today is I shared my story with you. I want to inspire you to gain control of your life. I want to bring you hope. You know, the Superman is a symbol of hope. If you go listen to the movie, Lois Lane asks Superman and says, what does that symbol on your chest means? And he looks to her and he says, where I'm from, this is the symbol of hope. And I want to bring hope to people. That is my purpose and passion. I want people to get in touch with their greatness. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. And this is the power of the mind. My goal for you today is to see how you can gain mental toughness. So if you stay till the end and you email me, I want to share with you 13 things mentally strong people do by Amy Moran. 100 ways to motivate others. And now, if you can motivate others, in a sense, you can motivate yourself as well. Because by giving, you receive. If you keep on giving, you keep on receiving. You can think it, you can do it, definitely. So please send me an email if you want those books. Okay, so here's some dreams that I did achieve. Because I could never play sport as a hemophiliac, I'm a big guy. You know, you could probably see last night, John, I'm overshadowing him, how big I am. And I would have probably been a great rugby player. And so on this journey, I said myself, I want to play rugby. Now, some of you say you want a goal, you want to be the top goal, but it's not possible. You know, sometimes, like me, I could have this great goal of playing rugby, but because of my situation, my reality, it's not going to come true. But it's not necessary. It can come true. It just can probably come true in a different way that you didn't expect it. And yet I had the opportunity to be the mental strength team culture coach for the Southern Kings. The year that they did their best season ever, where they won 6 games. They were 2 games away from winning from being in the quarterfinals. 2 games that they lost with a point and the one was point, the other one was 2 points. They won the best team in South Africa, the Bulls and the Sharks. They won against Australia's best team, the Waratahs. They won Argentina. They were the only team of South Africa to beat the Waratahs, the Jaguars in Argentina. They were 2 games away of being in the quarter. Do you know that destiny was then in their hands? So don't give up. So that is my thing. And then I worked with the Eagles in George as well in 2015, where they lost 6 games in a row. We got there and we needed to change their season around. And guess what? After that, they won all of their games to get into the final because they started changing their mindset and their beliefs, and they had a goal that they wanted to work towards. Some of those 6 games they won in the last minute. But they were so having like, we're going to win this no matter what, whatever it takes. And some of them, they won in the last minute. Can you believe it? And then as they scored the try, the Wouter would go. So it's amazing how beliefs can change it. One thing that I also have challenged myself, and this is why challenging yourself is so important. I have a fear of spiders. I jump like a girl, a spider. Yet I had to face my fears. So I like to challenge myself out of my comfort zone. I'm afraid of heights, and I went to when I was in New Zealand doing a workshop. I went to New Zealand Towers, Auckland Towers, the highest, and you jump from there. I have a fear of heights. You know how scared I was standing there to jump off? But I realized this is just another metaphor. What challenge do I face? So anything that I do, I face a challenge. So I had to hire someone, and I needed to pay a big salary, and I couldn't afford them. And so I said, I need to face this fear. And I jumped, and I'm like, the first part is tough. It's like the decision I need to make. It's like investing in these courses and investing in a coach. It's freaking crazy. It's like, I don't have the money and all of these excuses. But the thing is, the moment you let go, it's just that first part is unsure. And then you feel it, wow, it's actually great. And then you fall down, and like you get to the bottom and you say, wow, that was the best decision I've ever made. Feel like I can fly. The same with the spider. The moment they set the spider on me, I was shaking so much that it lifted its legs and its teeth came out. And the guy said to me, this spider feels your fear. It feels it's in danger. You need to relax. And I got a metaphor. What am I afraid of? I was afraid of going into a next relationship because after my divorce, I didn't want to face the same challenges again. And I realized, but this is what I'm doing to the relationship. The relationship will fall down if I am coming in afraid. And so I breathed, and I breathed out, and I relaxed. And then the spider started walking on me, and I conquered the fear. So by conquering fears, create it and make it a metaphor for something that you are facing in your life. And that's why I love, like, example, fire walking, because it becomes a metaphor. Every time I walk, people say, aren't you getting tired of walking on fire because I've walked more than 1,000 times? I said, no, because every time I'm in front of that fire, I'm looking at what challenges I'm facing currently in my life that I want to overcome. And I put it on the fire, and then the fire becomes real because the fear is real. And then I face that fear and I conquer it, and I look back, oh, man, that was so easy. I just need to step through it. And so I've done a lot of things right. I just want to check. I'm recording at last. So I've done a lot of things right. I've surrounded myself with mentors and coaches and a team, and a tribe. I call them a tribe. They're at the bottom. I have over 80 people that I've gotten through my retreats and my trainings that have become my tribe, that we share knowledge with. So become part of a movement or a tribe or a community, creating the right team. My team has grown. I have amazing guys on my team. And then, mentors and people that I'm working with, some of them are mentors. Now they are colleagues. They are partners in business, and we do things together, and that's how things change. So you get to a point where you can grow constantly, and that's the challenge I am giving you. So, but I've also done a lot of things right. I have a chronic thing about depression. And the thing is, depression works this way. The moment you start thinking negatively, it's like a spiral. You keep on going down, and it feels like you're going down a hole and you can't get out, no matter how positive you think, because it doesn't work. You're just keeping going down, and to a point where you have to make a choice. Either get medicine, either get help, but you need to make a choice, no matter where you are. And put your ego aside and say, but I need to get out of it. And through help, you can get out of it, and positive thinking, you can get out of it, and reading books and taking medication if it's needed, and having a coach. And before you know it, you get out of this hole. This is what helped me to get out of my holes. And it's a constant challenge in my life. Okay. So after doing this for 20 years, this is the quote that I live by. Quotes are very important because it becomes part of your life as you start applying it. So the quote is by Gandhi. It starts with your beliefs. What do you believe is possible? Do you believe this is the new norm? Do you believe COVID is going to kill a lot of businesses? What do you believe? Do you believe business is tough? Do you believe social media is not easy? Do you believe I can't afford to have a coach? I can't afford to go on a retreat. I can't afford to upskill myself. Your beliefs become your thoughts. What you think on daily. Your thoughts become your words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who love to use it will bear the fruits of it. So just take consciously note of take stock of your life. What are your constantly thoughts and words? Because that will show you what your beliefs are. And I think that is the challenge I have for you. Start looking at what is your beliefs, because it gets determined by your thoughts and words. And that then gets followed by the actions that you take. If you are afraid, you're going to take actions and you're going to keep keeping it all. I see a lot of businesses doing, we're not going to market now. We need to look at our cash flow. Of course, you need to look at your cash flow, but we're not going to take risks. We're not going to take chances. Everything is falling apart. But if you start changing your belief and your actions will change, it will become a habit, and a habit will become a value. And that ultimately leads to your destiny. And so it's so important is that we can create our destiny by changing our beliefs, our thoughts, and our words. And that will lead to our actions. So whatever destiny you want to create, you need to create that destiny by writing it down first. The beliefs will come, because if the why is strong enough, the how will appear out of the how will appear. So find a why and say, I want to achieve this. Even if you don't believe it consciously, if you keep on repeating it enough times, the reality will come to you. And that is the secret. And then after 20 years, realizing as well, there is no such thing as failure. Failure doesn't exist. It's a word that has been made up by people that teach us English, I think, because I'm an Afrikaans, so I don't know what failure is in Afrikaans, because the word doesn't exist for me. It's the same story as like a little boy walking and falling down, a baby walking for the first time. He falls down. Did he fail? Because is he a failure? No, he was just learning, got feedback on how to do it better. And I think that is the one thing that we need to learn. The next thing is keep calm and get a coach. It's so important. Get someone to coach you through your difficulties. Then, so the next thing is learn from other people's mistakes. Learn from other people so that you don't have to repeat it yourself. Because for the person trying to do everything alone, the game really is over. If you want to do something big, you must link up with others. One is too small a number to achieve greatness. That is the law of significance. It's all in your mind. What you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you can create. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you've always acted. If you continue to act as if you always acted, you will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want to have different results in your life, your work, all you have to do is change your mind. So it's easy to say, how are you doing? No, I'm doing fine. But are you really doing fine? Are you really happy? Are you really in a place where you aren't content with yourself? Well, the results are not typical. You have to put in the work. There is no magic pill that you have to take to make it happen. You have to say, draw the line and take control of your life. The secret is we need to reprogram our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind has been recorded for, how old are you now? For 37 years or 64 years or 73 years? It's been recorded. Now it's going to take effort to re-erase that and reprogram the mind. So the next one is, secret one is focus on one thing at a time. One can't multitask. Even if you are a woman, you can't. Because you're going to leave something behind and do something. So focus at one thing at a time, get it done as fast as possible, and then you focus on the next thing. So that's one thing that I learned on Kilimanjaro is poly, step by step. Multitasking is just worn as a badge of honor, but multitasking is too much and is not healthy. Practice by being present at what you are doing. So be present in the moment. When you are taking a walk, take in your surroundings, the weather, the birds. Just be present and enjoying everything around you. And I think be present, enjoy the journey. That is the most important for me. Secret 2, set aside time to move your body. Exercise. Every morning I am going for a walk, and I walk down between 5,000 and 10,000 steps a day. So I go for a walk. It clears my mind, especially now in the morning where it's nice and chilly. It's like fresh air. For those who can gym, go gym, but do some exercise. Move your body. If you change your physiology, the way you feel will change in it instant. You can't be depressed and happy at the same time. But if you're depressed, change your physiology and the way you feel will change automatically. So set a time to exercise your body, because physical and mental health go hand in hand. I feel so good if I do a walk in the morning because I can clear my mind. So start moving around if you feel, because if you keep sitting down, and you will procrastinate even more and more and more. So start living a healthy, look after your health. I had to realize that again. Secret 3, give yourself a daily mindfulness break. Rather instead of being mindful, become mindful. Learn to be present and enjoy the moment. Just enjoy. If you're with your kids, put your phone aside and make eye contact and be just present in that moment. If you're with your wife or your partner or someone else, just be present. Put your phone down and just be in that moment, because you might never get that moment again. You only have that one moment. So be and enjoy it and be present. It will change the way you look at the world. Set aside also for yourself 1 to 2 minutes each day to decompress. Check in with your body. How are you feeling? And it says how you're feeling. See, how was this day? Just relax and take a breather. Secret 4 is carve out self-care time. Put in yourself in your calendar every day of 10 to 20 minutes, just focusing on you, just relaxing, If needed, just want to break away from the world, binge watching something, just go and watch an episode. Just, it doesn't do that every day, right? But this is like, you just take a break. You go on a holiday, or you go read a book, or you're just binge watching something where you just relax and not thinking about work and about everything, and just enjoy that moment. So what's your favorite show, where you don't have to, where you just can laugh, or a nice movie that you've always enjoyed, and then just be in that moment and enjoy it. Be your time. Go for a massage, whatever you need to do, get some time for yourself. Secret 5, don't be afraid to reach out for help. I think all of the speakers have been saying this. Sonia says, multitasking and being present cannot coexist. Learn this throughout the summer this far. Amen. Wow, that is a great illustration of mindfulness. Alan says, the word impossible does not exist for me. I totally agree, Francois. I'm looking forward to working with you, but we're going to make it possible, anything that you put your mind to. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid. Seeking help is often the first steps to getting and staying well. But it can be hard to know how to start, where to turn to. And so this meeting of the minds is the opportunity to meet different speakers and maybe people that you are attracted to say, I want to work with you. Please help me. And negotiate, ask them, talk to them. Some of these speakers will go out of their way because for me, it's all about giving value. It's not about the money. The money will come. For me, it's about assisting you to make your life better and your business. So talk to us. Remember that it's okay also to say no sometimes. If people are taking your time and stealing your time, it's okay to say no. This other weekend I had to work because the summit was coming up, and people were inviting me to come over. Now, I know it's COVID, so I'm not mentioning names, but I had to make a choice. I can go and be present, but I knew there were people going to wait this week, and I need to be on top of my game. So I had to learn to say, I can't go, because I knew how I'm going to feel afterwards. It doesn't feel good to say no, because I like people's approval in my life. So I have to say no. So sometimes say no to times and things that can steal your energy. The next thing that is important is meditate. Now, for some people in religion, it will be prayer, but take a time to meditate every day. Now, if you want to join me, you need to send me an email with your cell phone number and WhatsApp number, because I will add you. I'm running a daily Chopra meditation. Now, it's not the one that some of you might think, the abundance one. I have like 20 different meditations that I take people through. So it gives you time. It's 20 minutes a day. It gives you time to breathe. It gives you time to relax. And it gives you time to meditate. And that is one thing that is important to me, is to take that time every day and start your day fresh. This has changed my life. I've been doing this more than a year. I have over 200 people in the group, and we just follow this. No spamming. I'm the only one that's allowed to post on the WhatsApp. So daily I share with you meditations, and you're welcome to send me your friends' numbers as well. But being part of a tribe where we lift our energy is so amazing. One lady did one of the meditations, and not long after that, it opened up and she got the biggest deal ever, So it can change your reality around you. Secret 7. Second 7 is, this is what I believe in, is practice gratitude every day. Without gratitude and appreciation for what you already have, you will never know true fulfillment. As soon as you are truly committed to making something happen, the how will reveal itself. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears into your life. Live every day with an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude changes everything. That's why I'm getting goosebumps when I share that. Then the step 8, I know for some of you probably don't like it, but the most important thing is journal. So buy yourself a journal. I have about few journals that I use on a daily basis. But let me teach you the right way of journaling. How many of you would love to learn the right way of journaling? So while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to see, I see Francois says, be present. There's my strategy of telling my wife about my investment. We'll tell her about these awesome people I reach out to that going to teach me to be present. Awesome, Francois. I love it. So journal. So how does journaling work? Journaling works in 3 steps. So the night before, you need to journal. So the night down is you need to empty your mind. Now imagine a dam that the water never flows out. What happens with that water? It becomes rotten. So imagine having all that negativity and experience of the day inside of you. What does it do to your body? You go sleep on it. So what does it do? It's not good for you. So start writing down the night before everything that went wrong that day, everything that made you feel bad, the emotions that came up, people that made you feel hateful, whatever. You just write down all of that negative thoughts. Then it's out of you. It's been flowing out. That's why writing is so important, not typing, because it flows out of your arm. That's how important it is. In the morning when you wake up after your meditation, you sit down and you write everything you are grateful for. Now, you can also, if you remember your dream, write down your dream as well, because sometimes our dreams tell us something. But write everything that you're grateful for. Everything. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to walk. But when you write what you are grateful for, put emotions in it. Start feeling how grateful you are. Because remember, emotions that thoughts that become emotionalized become magnetized. So feel it in your life. And then the last step is you write down your goals and affirmations. Even if you've written them down, you repeat them and you say them loud. But if you want goals for that day, write down the goals for the day. But have your goals affirmation somewhere where you read them every day. Because one of mine is I am financially independent and I earn X amount per month. Just a simple information is that I'm fit, healthy, and lean, and I love and take care of my being. That is information that I keep repeating for myself. So get yourself, and if not, I will share with you affirmations that you can listen to. So that is the secrets that I wanted to teach you today. And if you have any questions, please ask in the comment box. But I want to share with you, I'm not going to sell anything to you. I just want to share with you what I love to do. And if you ever feel attracted to come and join a tribe, you're most welcome to come and do it. I take people on a retreat once or twice a year. I've had people from Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Germany, Egypt, Spain, Dubai, Hungary, all over the world to come and join my retreat. Now, one thing about the retreat is not just the retreat, it's also having fun and gain. One of the things that we do is we do a wine taste. And we do a Bushveld wine taste. So it's something different. It's not like the normal wine tasting. It's actually fun and enjoyable. And on this journey, you get to learn how to become part of a tribe and how to work with fire. So the one thing is you're not going to only experience at a retreat like this is about walking a fire, and you walk more than 100 times. On the last night of the retreat, we walk 108 times in the fire. So it has a lot of meaning behind it, and this retreat we do is a body, mind, and spiritual retreat. Is where you come recharge, your vibration gets lifted, you get the opportunities to walk with a lion. And now you say, but why should I walk with a lion? Everything that we do is a metaphor to something in your life. So it's a whole process and journey over 5 days. We get people to break boards with their hands and arrows. If you can put your finger there, that soft spot trachea. And it's like, goodness, why should I do this? I don't want to put my life at fear. It's not about fear. It's about facing that fear. It's about facing your limiting beliefs, the way you are thinking about life, and challenging yourself out of your comfort zone. We even bend steel rods. Now, I don't know how many of you know what a reinforced rebar is. And you also put it there on your throat. You make eye contact and you move forward, and that bar bends like butter. You even get the opportunity to walk over broken glass. How many of you believe here that glass cuts and bleeds? Well, as a hemophiliac, I'm a bleeder, so getting my feet cut is not a good thing. And yet we get people to walk over broken glass. So again, why should you? It's not why. It's a metaphor to face any challenge and fear in your life. And then we have some fun and games. This is on the participant. We do some trust exercises, just to let go of certain fears and mindset. This is a funny picture, but one thing, if you're in the bush, you get something called bokdrolle, and we actually spit all the shit that you carry in with you. You spit it out, so it becomes a metaphor of letting go. You don't want to keep it, all that negative stuff. It's time to let it go. We also have a labyrinth. A labyrinth is a way of working with your mind and your energy of your mind. So it's also a meditative process and walking in silence. So it's a journey that you go on to. And this is actually being facilitated by René Ron, that you probably have listened to in yesterday. You get time to learn other meditative techniques like art therapy, and you get the opportunity. We do yoga every morning before we start our day. Every morning we start at 6 o'clock and we end at 12 o'clock the night. So it's like being in the army. We do Tai Chi, we do some drumming, and then bricks. How many of you know what a cement brick is? So we get the opportunity to take your hand and physically break a brick with your hand. Now, on my elbow, I had the opportunity to break my brick, and then something explodes in your mind, how amazing it is. Then you get to experience the built fire and get connected to fire, because fire is transformative, and you get an experience of that nobody can take away from you. It literally changes your life. I showed you walking with lions, it's the most amazing experience. And then also the knife drop. You take a knife, a higher knife, and you drop it on your tummy. It's like it can pierce, because just before that, we drop it on a piece of wood and it begs. And yet this teaches us to relax, be in the moment, and be meditative. So how many of you would love to do that? I see Sonia says, love the spitting. Sonia says, why 108 times? Is there specific about the number? Yeah, you can go Google 108, and different religions mean something. It's also a spiritual journey, 107 times, and without getting burned. And 108 times, we do a 20-footer or 40-footer, depends on the team, and we do it in silence. And so it's a journey. The whole walk becomes a journey of life, of all the challenges you can face. And so it becomes something personalized to you. Everyone that's been on this always want to come back to do the 108 times. Oh, my word, and I've challenged my beliefs a bit. I know, Sonia, and it does. But if you think about it, if you can do all of this, nothing can stop you. And there's the Night 3 Fires, where we walk 108 times, and it's life transformational. So a lot of people have become part of the tribe from all over the world. It's the most amazing retreat. Do you know that Tony Robbins went on the same retreat before he became famous? You can even get a certification if you stay an extra 2 days and become a firewalk instructor. And if you're a speaker or someone or just want to get an instructor, you get the certificate. Top of the speakers in the world have gone through this experience. It's and there's our fire beats, the 108 beats, and some say it's Marlow beats. So it's 108, and just it's like a gift that you remember about walking on fire. So I'm not here to sell to you today. I believe the fire calls you. I believe if you are ready, you want to come to the retreat, you can either do the retreat or you can become an empowered firewalking coach certificate. So it's up to you. So this year, tentatively, the date is the end of October and might change to November, depends on what happens with the lockdown. But I always say people are get called. We only take 8 to 10 people on the retreat, nothing more, because it's a small place that we go to where everyone stays. It's almost a 5-star type of lodge. We stay there the whole 4.5 days, and you go through this retreat. And I'm only sharing it with you. If you have an excuse, look at the guy on the left. He doesn't have legs, and yet he walked over the fire with his hands. So you can have an excuse or for life. Now, I don't say you need to come do this. But if you feel like, Kubis, I want to be part of it, what is the option? What is the cost? Come and ask me. But I'm not here to sell you this. I'm here to show you this. And if you feel drawn to it and says, I need something like this, I need to go on a retreat and I want to invest in myself, I will go for this. So this is my journey I want to share. I have 2 or 3 minutes left to answer some questions, and then I need to get ready for the next talk because René Ron is going to be in the next talk. But you all have my email address. So let me just put my email address on as well. For those who want to, it's going to be info@firewalkingafrica.com. If you feel like, you want to be part of this sometimes this year or next year, I think this is something powerful, and then everything is included, and then you can pay it off over the next few months. So is there any of you that would have any questions for me at the moment? Francois says, being present, there's my strategy of telling, I read that. Alan says they are super, and yes, the quiet time is so important. Sonia says, yes, she's journaling. Rian says, I would like to learn how to journal. Yes, Rian, I hope you learned, and I hope to see you soon. Awesome, thanks. I love this bit in. It sounds awesome. I see some of you are typing. So please, if there's any questions that you would love to ask, I see there is a few of you online, so please feel free to ask, Gabby, yeah. And then even if you have nothing to ask, give me, did you learn something at least? Was this informative? Was this a good session? Did you like the tips and secrets that I taught you today? That also gives me feedback that I'm on the right path, and that what I'm sharing is what people need, and maybe you need it now in this time of your life. Compared to the other talks that I did the other few days, this is totally different. The other two were more business, were more marketing focused, where this one is more spiritual and more deep. You have to go deep in yourself. And so, Rian, always a good session when you are presenting, Quivers. Thank you, Rian. I really appreciate it. Very powerful presentation, Quivers. Hugely inspiring. Thank you, William. And it's always on the right track. Thank you. Thank you. And that means a lot to me, because it means that I can give and keep giving back to people. Okay. I'm going to just leave you for a few questions. Let's make it... what's the time now? 11:46. So quickly, 1 minute. If you want to type something, then I can answer, and then I can close today's talk. So let me share a video with you while you typing and asking a question. I want to share with you something, and just listen to this.
The daughter of Philip James Scott and Margaret Barbara Borstel. My journey started a couple of years ago with The Secret, and it felt like a long journey, but it almost felt like this weekend was what my journey was leading to, and that I had found what I was looking for. I've done a lot of personal development and stuff, and I have worked with some phenomenal people, T-Half and Barry Mitchell, but in their individual programs, but it doesn't compare to the fit. It does not. It's almost the whole continuum one that you do in this weekend instead of a quarter of the price, if I may say. And it is a phenomenal experience. Coming here, I felt heavy, and I didn't realize how heavy until I broke that block tonight. Yes! It was a great, absolute honor to have my boys here with me, and watching them grow in this weekend. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that we were given, Quivers and Romy and Malcolm, and you guys have been phenomenal with us in our drama that we've had in the last while, and your support and love has been fantastic, and we're very proud. I am very proud to be a part of this family with you guys and with all of you. And I want to take the time to say thanks to my fire tribe for the fire this evening. I think it was a beautiful fire. Emma and Wolf for the suggestion on naming our fires. I feel that it represented, for me, the energy that was here the weekend, with various issues on whatever level it was that we had, with trust, with love, with healing, and getting peace with experiencing this whole weekend. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you that I could have shared this with you today. It's my heart's pleasure. Please come and tune in the next session with Renier and be blown away. Thank you very much. I'm going to close this call now. Love you all. Bye-bye.